Welcome back. We couldn't be more excited to have this gentleman on the show today. He is an officer in the Clarksville Police Department and a skilled self-defense instructor. Officer Jim Knoll, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming by.
You're welcome.
So we want to know, basically just tell us a little bit about yourself and for our viewers.
Okay, I'm a Northerner by nature. I grew up in New Jersey. I went into the Air Force when I was 18 years old. I spent 21 years in the Air Force. I retired in Las Vegas, and then after I retired in Las Vegas, I ran a company out there, did concert security and personal protection, so I worked probably in the neighborhood of 150 concerts with more celebrities and stars than I care to think about. I've been on the Clarksville Police Department about 17 years. First 3 years I was in, I was a patrol officer, then I was a training officer, so I taught officers self-defense, firearms, and a list of other subjects, and now I'm the public information officer for the police department.
Great.
Very, very interesting. Now, why did you choose to go into this realm as far as public relations for the police department?
Well, it was sort of a natural transition for me because I've done theater, I've been on stage. I used to be a command briefing team, so I used to brief dignitaries. So it was a pretty natural transition. I was used to writing reports and used to writing different scripting type things. So it was sort of a natural transition.
Well, how did you get into self-defense?
Me and another guy about 9 years ago, we started the program for the police department. You know, there was a need to help women learn how to defend themselves. And we took this very seriously, and it was, like I said, me and another guy got this off the ground. And so 9 years later, we're still going with it because it's very important. You know, and anything we can teach a woman how to defend herself is what we're all about.
Well, I know you have so much to show us today, but I just want to say thank you on behalf of all women for just giving your time and efforts to teach a lot of us, because it does mean a lot, and we do appreciate that.
Definitely.
Thank you.
So I can't wait to see some of these moves. I mean, are they easy to do? Are they hard? I mean,
they're very simplistic, and that's the whole idea, because when we teach this class, this particular class, and the thing I'd say is any type of defense that someone can learn, the better it is. It doesn't matter whether it's this system or another system, but it's got to be simplistic because most people aren't going to practice. I mean, I took martial arts years ago, and I sort of got bored with it because I didn't want to spend the time practicing. So these are real simple things. They're not something you have to think about. You don't have to float through the air or do anything impressive like that.
well, great. That's good to know for me because I'm not into the fighting and things like that. So I'm going to take notes, by the way.
So what level of martial arts did you happen to exceed to when you were in that realm?
I didn't get into the belts or any of that. I just took some classes, and like I said, it just wasn't for me.
Right.
And so now the courses that we teach were ones that are sort of canned courses by one of the largest self-defense firms in the United States and Canada.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's and matter of fact, they teach this at Austin. They have instructors here at Austin P too that teach this particular course.
Well, very, very interesting. How often do you teach courses like throughout the county and city?
Well, we do them upon request because I'm about the only instructor left. Because when we first started the program, we had about 8 instructors, so I'm about the only one that teaches now. So it's sort of upon request if a group of 6 or more women, because it's a women's only course, comes in and requests a class, well, we'll teach it, and we teach it for free. You know, we've had a lot of support from the city government and from the police department to put this class on for free for the last 8 to 9 years we've been doing it.
Wow, that's great. That's great.
Well, where do you guys normally do the classes?
It comes down to the same thing. The person that sets it up, they come up with a place to teach the class.
Oh, okay.
Because we really don't have a facility per se. Most of the time we find it's easier if someone sets up an environment that's comfortable for them. I've taught it in churches, I've taught it in garages, I've taught it in people's homes. I mean, if they've got a space, then we can teach it. Like I said, there's not necessarily a lot of room required.
Well, thank you so much for all the wonderful, wonderful information, but we have to take a quick break. You guys stick around. We'll have more.